Okay, Bismillah. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. And hello everyone, welcome back into our content that is Weekend to Start or WTT. And in this session, we are going to do like a teaching course that's from the one person from same major as me. As you know, it's from the TKG class that is Muhammad Ibn Safar. Okay, so here Muhammad Ibn Safar as the speaker of this session right now, and Muhammad Ibn Safar, time is yours. Okay,
Okay,
Bismillah.
Bismillah,
Assalamualaikum.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alamin, wassalatu wassalamu ala Rasulillah, amma ba'du. Okay, hello, let me introduce myself once again. My name is Mu'as ibn Safar. Right now, I'm sitting in 11th grade of TKG major. And so today, in this occasion, I'm going to I'm going to talk, or rather, I'm going to, you know, present about the IGRP filtering distribute list. So as you can see here in the screen right now, there is a topology. I use a ifng using a virtual machine. So here there is three routers, and so we're going to start. So first of all, what is a EIGRP distribute list, filtering distribute list? So EIGRP filtering. So wait. I'm going to explain first. What is EIGRP? EIGRP is a one of a routing protocol from a dynamic routing. One of a routing protocol from dynamic routing that is commonly used in Cisco. And EIGRP is the only it's only used on Cisco because there is no this same feature in other vendors. Yeah, so AIGRP is specialized for Cisco. And so AIGRP itself, it can be used to filter like IP address, prefix, and errors. But today here we're going to learn about filtering the distribute list. So it's going to filter an IP address, or to be more specific, it's a loopback IP address. Yeah, actually we can filter any IP address, but today here I'm going to show how to filter an IP address or loopback IP address. Okay. So as you can see here, I have set up the topology, and here we are using FNG, not like last time we are using Cisco Packet Tracer. So here we have the telnet. As you can see here, we are using CLI. For the command itself, it's still the same like in Cisco Packet Tracer. Yeah, it's still the same. We need to enable first and then go into the configuration terminal. And so the basic configuration we need to set first is we need to configure the IP address, okay, for each interface. And here in this topology, we're not using fast Ethernet like in Cisco Packet Tracer. We're just going to use a normal Ethernet. So as you can see here, the interface is Ethernet 0/0. So we're going to put it in insert as interface Ethernet, or you can shorten it as E and then 0/0. Okay, this is in the first router or router number one. IP address. To make it simple, I'm just going to put it as 10.10.1, okay? Because it is the first router, so I put it as 1 for the host. And then for the subnet mask, like usual, 255.0, okay? Like this. And then don't forget to no shutdown it, or it won't be on the interface, okay? And then, yeah, moving on to the second router. Sorry. Okay. So this is the terminal of the second router. Enable first, and then configuration terminal. Insert interface Ethernet 0/0. So this Ethernet is the one that connects to the first router. So we're going to add an IP with the same network like the IP address in the first one. Okay. 10. So for the host here, we're just going to add S2, number 2, because this is the second router. And then for the subnet mask, the usual subnet mask. Okay. And don't forget to no shut down it. And then we're going to add one more. So Ethernet 0/1 that connects to router number 3, okay, or the third router, and that is 0/1. We're going to add an IP address for 2022. Yeah, the host. For the host, it's up to you guys what do you want to put it in. But for me, I'm just going to insert it as 2 to make it simple because this is the second router. And then while inserting the subnet mask and no shutdown it. Okay. Okay, now moving on to the third router. Okay, like this. Enable configuration terminal. And then we're going to insert interface Ethernet 0/0 that connects to the second router. So E 0/0, add an IP address with the same network. And I'm going to put the host as 3 because it is the third router. And so the usual subnet mask, no shutdown, and we're done. Okay, so we're done configuring the IP address for each router. So now we're going to add an IP address or a loopback IP address. Okay, first we're starting from the first router just to make it simple. Okay, the first one. So we're going to insert it as interface loopback 1, or you can shorten it as int LO1. Okay. Like I said, once again, we are going to insert it as interface loopback 1 or LO1. Okay. You can shorten it like that. Enter and then add an IP address. Sorry. Add an IP address. So here, because this is the first router, the first router number 1, I'm going to add it as 111. 1.1. And so for the subnet mask, we're going to add 255.255. Okay, like this, like it's shown in the screen. So if you guys are wondering, what does the prefix stands for? It's going to be a prefix. Okay, so in here it's going to be prefix /32. Okay, and just like that, we don't need to disable or no shutdown it. I mean, we don't need to enable it or no shutdown it because it is automatically enabled. And then moving on to the second router, you're going to configure the same like the first router, interface LO1, add an IP address, and that is 2.2 like this. And for the subnet mask, it's going to be like this, the same like the first router. Okay, and now the third one, the third router, interface LO1, IP address 333, and the subnet mask 255.255. Okay, and so we are done configuring the interface IP loopback. Now, after we're done, so the material itself, the topic that we're talking today is about EIGRP. So EIGRP, like I said, it's a EIGRP is a routing protocol. So we need to configure in every router. So for the configuration itself, just need to type router EIGRP, and then for the number itself, we can add. Actually, it's up to you guys, but here I'm going to show as 10. Okay, for example, on router EIGRP 10, and then we're going to input all the networks from the IP that the first router have. Okay, all the IP from all the network from the IP that the first router has. Okay, so there is two IP address. The first one is 10.1 and the second one is 1.1. So there is two that we're going to input. So why do we need to input it here? Because it's going to be shared to the other routers. Okay, later I will explain it again. So first we're going to edit 10.10.10.0, and here we need to input the wildcard mask. Okay, the opposite of subnet mask. Done. Okay, and there you go. One more. And for the loopback, we don't need to be more specific as the first network here, 10.0. It just needs to be typed as 1.1 like this. And for the wildcard mask, it's going to be 0.0. Okay. And there you go. Okay, now moving on to the second router. Second router, we type it the same, EIGRP 10. There is three. Okay, we're going to input three networks. There is 10.2, 20.2, and there is the loopback IP address. Okay, 10.0 wildcard mask, the opposite of subnet mask, and then the network. Sorry, network is going to be 0.0 wildcard mask, and now the last one is the loopback. Okay, 222. 0, 0, like this. Okay, now for the third router EIGRP 10, and then we're going to add. There is only two IP that we need to add here, or we need to input. There is 20.3 and sorry, it's 20.3 and this 3.3. Once again, 0.0 and then the wildcard mask. Now, sorry, 3 and then 0, 0, 0. Okay, like this. And so just like that, we are done configuring the routing protocol. Okay. So now in this occasion, we're not just going to configure a normal EIGRP routing protocol. So in this occasion, we're going to talk about the filtering in the EIGRP. So EIGRP itself, there is a another function other than routing. So there is filtering function in order to filter an IP address. So for example here, as you can see, so okay, as you can see here, if we type command do show IP route, there is a routing table, all of it from other routers too. For example here, 1.1. As you can see, this is the IP loopback from the first router that has been shared to the second router through routing protocol, okay, through EIGRP, okay. And as you can see here, there is also 3.3, or the IP address of the IP address, the loopback IP address of the third router that has been shared to this router using EIGRP routing protocol, okay. And there is other IP too, other IP address like 10.0 and 20.0, okay. So in this occasion, we're going to talk about distribute list filtering, filtering distribute list. So we're going to filter which IP address that we're going to block or we don't want to share, okay, with the router. So wait, but there is two method. There is the first one is from the router that sends the or share the information, shares the sorry, the first method is from the router that shared the IP address. For example, the second router here will share an IP address. There is three IP address that the second router will share to the first router, right? Because wait, we're going to show it here, show IP route in the first router. See, as you can see, so the second router has shared 2.2, 3.3, and so 20.0. Okay, so the second router has shared all the IP address it has. Now we're going to block one of these IP address. So from the first router, we're going to block this second, okay, or the IP address, the loopback IP address from the second router. We're going to block it, so it won't be shown in this table routing, okay, this routing table. So the first method is using in. So we're going to block the root. Yeah, so we're going to block the root from this interface. So the IP address that we block, that we type in, well, wait, sorry. Once again, I'm going to explain it again. Sorry, I will repeat myself. So this, we're going to block the IP address from the second router using this interface. For example, like I showed just now, that we're going to block this 2.2, okay, using this interface. So when the second router shares the IP address, it won't be shown in the routing table because it has been filtered by this interface, okay? I hope that explanation can be understand because I think it's pretty hard for me to explain it by English, sorry. And so the first method is using in, okay? So first thing first, we need to configure an access list, okay? Access list 1, deny 2 point like this, okay? So for example here, we're going to use IP address 2.2 or the loopback IP address from the second router. So we'll enter it. And then don't forget to permit others. Permit any. Okay. So this command here, permit any, is to let other IP than 2.2 to be shown in this routing table. Okay. And so now after we configure the access list, we're going into the router EIGRP tab. And then we're going to set distribute list 1 in distribute list 1 in, okay, in here because we're receiving the information or the IP address from the second router, okay. So in then ethernet 0/0, okay. Make sure you type the correct interface, because if we type the wrong one, it won't be blocked or it won't be filtered, okay. And so it should be done. Now, when we show IP route again, once again like this, we show IP route. As you can see here, the loopback IP address from the second router, it won't be shown here because we have filtered it. It's blocked. Okay, so it can't be shown. It can't be shown in this routing table. See? Okay, wait. I'm going to compare it using the second router here. When we do show IP route, as you can see here, there is the 2.2 itself, the IP address, but here it's not shown. It doesn't shown here. Okay, and so that is the first method using the in. It's going to be configured from the one that receives, okay, that receives the information or the IP address from the transmitter or from the one who gives. Okay. Now, the second method is using out, or we're going to filter it before it gets it shared to the others. So we're going to configure it from the second router. Okay. So we're going to filter the second router to not give the IP address to the third router. Okay. First, we're going to check the first router first. Okay. Here. Do show IP. As you can see here, it's shown 2.2. There is the loopback IP address of the second router. So now we're going to block it from the router, the second router itself. Okay, we're going to block so the IP address won't be shared through this interface through Ethernet 0/1. Okay, now the configuration is the same. The command it's the same like last time, but the only difference is okay. Wait, access list 1, deny 2.2.2, and then access list 1, permit any, and now we're going to router EIGRP10 and distribute list 1 here. From the first configurations now, when we configure in the first router, we type it as in, but in the second router, we type it as out. Okay, out Ethernet, sorry, Ethernet 0/1. Okay, so here it means we are blocking the IP address 2.2 to not be shared to the third router using this Ethernet 0/1. Okay, so it won't be shared through this Ethernet 0/1. Now we're going to try it out. We're going to check it in the third router. As you can see, when the first time we checked, there's this IP address. The IP address is still shown here. And so we're going to type it again. Do show IP route. And as you can see, it's gone. Let's compare it once again. Oh, sorry, it's gone, okay. And now it's gone. It should be there is 2.2.2.2 or the loopback IP address from the second router, but it's gone because we have filtered it from the second router itself. Okay. So the conclusion itself, I'm going to make it simple. A simple explanation once again to repeat itself so you guys can understand more simple. So EIGRP is a routing protocol that only can be used in Cisco. Okay, can be used in other vendors, or actually the other vendors have can't use this routing protocol. Okay, and so EIGRP it's not only it is for routing protocol, but it also has other function, and that is to filter IP address, or it can also filter a prefix, okay, like prefix. So the function itself, other than routing protocol, it can use to be filtering, okay, used for filtering. So, and for the filtering itself, there is two method. The first method is in, and the second method is out. In is used or configured in the router that received the information from other router. Okay, so we block the root, so the IP address can't be can't enter the router. Okay, so it gets filtered. And the second method is out. So the out method is configured in the router that shares, okay, that shares the information to the other routers. Okay, so before it shared the information, or before it shared the IP address that it has using routing protocol, it got blocked. Okay, it got filtered. Okay, and just a reminder, make sure if you're using this filtering method, make sure that you input the right interface. Okay, make sure to input the right interface that you want to filter, because if you're wrong, for example here, when we are using the out method, we are using it against, or we're using it to this third router, okay, in order to block the IP address from entering the third router. Okay, so we're using interface ethernet 0/1, but if just now we insert it as distribute list 1 out ethernet 0/0, the third router will still receive the IP address. Okay, so make sure it's the right interface. Okay, so okay, maybe that's all for today's occasion, for today's explanation from me. I'm sorry if I have so many mistakes in pronunciation or explanation. Maybe if you still don't understand this material, you can search it yourself in the Google. Yeah, because I have learned it yesterday. Okay, I just learned it yesterday, so I'm not really that expert yet in this skill. Okay, so thank you for your attention. Syukran. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi. Okay, thank you Muaz for doing this session, and you guys who watching on this video. I have guests for this session who can help for this session. Maybe I apologize to all, and thanks for Muaz for joining this session, and thank you guys. Let's close uh, our session today, and and sorry when we have some mistakes. I'm Fatan Karim, and last say wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.